Hi everybody and welcome to this week's video with updates for today, the 9th of April 2020. This is to let you know that our intranet site has been updated and now includes a section on Operation Graduate. And in this section you will find the most up-to-date information and all the decisions that had to be made that relate to you. If there's anything on the intranet site that you think is out of date or incorrect, please let us know on the email as stated below. Support for researchers and clinician researchers who are unable to continue their research at the moment is a major topic of discussion across the university, within the college, and of course within the school. I have been in contact with the Associate Dean Wellbeing of the college, Professor Christensen, and we are throwing some ideas around on how we can support the researchers. I think it is important to know that there is some help available for supervisors. You can do a free course that is available through Coursera, which is a psychological first aid course that might be quite helpful to you to support your peers and those that you supervise. And I think it might be good learning for everybody anyway. In terms of research students, it is important to notice that Dr. Diana Perryman is running a forum for HDR students next week. And Dr. Riccardo Natoli is leading some work to provide some mentorship, particularly to early career academics and early career researchers. As I stated before, the College Associate Dean of Wellbeing, Professor Christensen, is also focusing on supporting researchers. Teaching and learning seems to be going very well in phase one. All the curriculum is online. Students should be able to see their learning for the next 2 weeks, and even the small groups are running well. In phase two, the website that Dr. Nick Taylor has set up, Medopedia, is up and running, and we still need some clinical moderators for this site to ensure that everybody posting something sticks to the rules. The students have developed a clinical diary with our help, and that is nearing completion, and this will be used when the students are going back to their clinical placements to track their learning and their competencies. We have set up a subgroup that will focus particular on the Year 3 students, on their outcomes and their learning opportunities across both phases, so including this year and next year, and we will keep you updated on what they have decided and where they are going with their plans. The students have been sent a list of mandatory sessions that they have to do this week and possibly next week, which includes things such as clinical documentation, handover, scribing lessons, prescribing, donning and doffing PPE, and is mandatory to be done before they return to their clinical placement. Those of you who've done it in the last 3 months, you don't have to repeat it, but remember, if you repeat it, you might actually remember it a bit easier, and everybody should be doing this, and we will track whether you have done that. Remember, the more you know now, the easier it is for you to return to your clinical placements, and it makes our argument a bit stronger that you are going to be a valuable asset to each team that you might be assigned to. On clinical placement, we're still liaising with Canberra Health Services, Calvary, the rural nodes and ANU on an agreement to get you back onto clinical placement. As you can imagine, these are difficult discussions, and the decisions that have to be made need to be made across the board. It is clear, though, that at the moment the planned return on the 14th of April next week is not possible, but we will keep you updated, and as soon as we know when you can return, we will let you know, and then we will think about where you will be placed. The return of students or keeping students in clinical placements is important, and this is strongly supported by the Medical Deans of Australia and New Zealand, and they have provided a letter of support endorsing clinical placements. And in addition, a letter that was signed not just by the medical deans but also by the AMC and the medical board has been sent out, and I have distributed this widely. Those students that will be going back on placements, the phase 2 students, have been informed that a directive through the Chief Health Officer has required them to return at a date that is at least 14 days before their first clinical placement. Students who have been in New South Wales, Victoria or Queensland within those 14 days cannot go to a clinical placement and need to wait for that period of time. We've also asked the students to provide us with a medical certificate if they have a chronic condition that they think will limit their clinical placement in the future. please send these medical certificates to the dean.medicalschool@anu.edu email, and I will be the one seeing the details, and we will then assess where you can return to your clinical placement and what we can do to help you out. In other news, we will hold a senior faculty meeting next Tuesday, and this is where I'm planning to update the senior faculty on what we've been doing over the last 3 weeks, and to inform them about the online learning that is going on at the moment, and particularly talk to them about returning students to their clinical placements, informing them of the changes of the roles, the expectations that we have of the students, and the limitations. Dr. Taylor will give more detail on that, and I hope that I will see as many of the senior faculty there as possible. Now, it is Thursday before the Easter long weekend. It's been a long 3 weeks, and it's been a difficult 3 weeks. Although you may have planned some leave or seeing your family or going away for the Easter long weekend, this may not be possible this weekend. But remember, just because you can't be physically in contact with somebody doesn't mean you can't remain in contact. We've got such a variety of social media resources. Please use them. Reach out to your friends and your family. Try to get some rest over the weekend, and I'll see you next week. Happy Easter, everybody.